Hi guys, my name is Aqua here, back with another video. As you guys could see by the title, we are doing a video about Survivor. Now this video is about this past episode of Survivor, David vs. Goliath, episode 13. It's either episode 13 or 12. I'm pretty sure it's 13. Yeah, I think it's 13. But this is going to be an ongoing series on my channel where I talk about different episodes of Survivor. This is the one that happened on Wednesday, December 12th, 2018. And yeah, I'm gonna have like a couple of segments on the show, maybe some special guests at some point. It's gonna be a very fun series. So this is the first of that series. So this is the first episode of that. So if you guys have not watched it, there will be major spoiler alerts. So first thing, obviously, Christian getting voted out. So I was really shocked just because, like, during this episode, Christian didn't have, like, too much airtime. Like, I think it looked like Christian was going to kind of explode, not literally, but you know what I mean, in the finale, and then we were going to hear kind of the close to Christian's story, possibly Christian getting the victory. But when Christian got voted out, I was absolutely shocked. It looked like it was definitely going to be Allison. Kind of from the get-go of this episode, it seemed like it would make sense that Allison would go at this point in the season. She hasn't had, like, she and Kara haven't had much of an overarching storyline, but Allison and Kara have kind of been in the back for like a really long time, and nobody really has heard of them, really. So I think that, I don't know, their storylines have kind of been lost. But Christian has had such a big storyline throughout this whole season that him not getting much in this episode was definitely leading up to the eventual, like, not snap, but end of the finale, which is the end of the season. So, yeah, I was utterly shocked because, like, so many other people's names were thrown around. I think it was three other people. So Christian, like, technically these are just odds, but these are just the odds, not of who was most likely to vote for who, or any of that. But it was a 1 in 4 chance that Christian was gonna go, and usually, guys, it seemed like it was a 1 in 1 chance that Christian was gonna go. So I thought Christian was gonna be able to make it past this episode. Just because, like, this episode did not have anything really, it really didn't have much except for Mike saying that Christian's gotta go, Christian's gotta go. That kind of indicated that Christian was gonna go. So to me, it doesn't make sense, and to a lot of other people I know, it didn't really make sense. And Christian was also a fan favorite, without a doubt. Christian was a favorite of the season. I know he was at least one of my favorites. And I know everybody, to a certain extent, likes Christian. And he was a really good character. And I would think that Christian would have to come back for another season just because of how fun he is. But I was really shocked when Allison wasn't the one going. Rewind to the beginning of this episode. We have Nick at the beginning of this episode. We've got Nick preparing to make a fake immunity idol. So he makes the fake idol, and then he's going to put it under the raft when they're all talking at the raft, and then he's going to pull it out. So it would make more sense, definitely. And I know a lot of people are thinking this. It would make way more sense if he would have had someone else find it or made it obvious for someone else to find instead of him himself finding it, which it didn't make as much sense. But he pulls it out. He tells Davy, or I think it was Mike that tells Davy about it. So Davy is kind of suspicious, which, guys, Davy is really smart. Davy is really playing a good game, which I will talk about soon. But yeah, and then Davy decides to target Nick based on this. So I think it was very interesting. Davy is definitely smart. So then they have the reward challenge. Davy gets the W. It was like with a rope or something. It was an interesting challenge. And then with beanbags that you have to throw. It was pretty fun. Or pretty fun to watch. Good challenge. But then Davy gets to pick 2 people to go on the reward with him on a helicopter ride, and there's actually a really cool secret scene with Davy in the helicopter. It's pretty nice. I'll show a clip of that right now.
I'm in the freaking helicopter! I've never been in a freaking helicopter before, dude.
But basically, yeah, that's what happens. And Davy at first picks Nick. So it's like, okay, interesting choice. I thought that he was going to pick Christian for the reward. But I guess it makes sense why he would pick Nick. And then I think people were confused because, well, I was at least, why Davy would pick Nick if he was planning to vote him out, which I was confused. But later, Davy explained why he did this, which really proves how smart Davy is, and he has definitely studied this game pretty well, and he has good sense of how to win, which, who knows, that might end up being what happens. So then, Then Angelina is pleading her case of why she deserves to go on the reward. And she talks about the rice. Of course, Angelina has to bring up the rice. Which, interesting. Good for her. But Davy does not listen and picks Kara. Which, I don't know. Interesting. But later Davy explains why he chose this. But he picks Kara to go with him. Angelina is angry. She goes back to camp and, okay, this is the part where I was confused. I don't think I was paying too much good attention to this. Then Angelina makes revenge rice. I don't understand it, but she tells the tribe how she's so angry at Davy. So then at the reward, when Nick leaves, I'm guessing to go to the bathroom or something, but anyway, Nick leaves, and then when he's gone, Davy tells Kara his plan to vote out Nick, which, that's when you kind of understand, oh, that's why he picked Nick, to kind of not seem suspicious, which I thought that Davy should have picked Christian. That was the first person I thought he was going to pick, or the person he was most likely to pick, but I guess it makes sense. Yeah, definitely interesting. Definitely Davy is very smart, and he knows how to play this game. So then they come back, Kara is on board with this plan, and then they go to the immunity challenge. They had to balance balls on like it was a pretty good challenge, and Mike ended up getting the win, which it was down to Nick, Allison, and Mike, and I was like, ooh, Mike's probably gonna win unless Nick wins. So then Nick drops, and I'm like, okay, Mike's gotta win, because I thought for sure they were leading up to the, obviously, Nick versus Allison who's going to get voted out thing. And then surprisingly, they voted out Christian, which didn't. It just really doesn't make sense, guys, why they would vote him out. It was down to Mike and Allison. It looked like for a second Mike was going to drop, but I was like, nah, Mike's not going to drop. It's going to be Allison. And I was correct, which it just made sense for the storyline.